As is my tradition, the openings begin with the beer. Today it is Bear and Barrel Maple Nut Brown Ale from Handsome Lad Brewing in Winnipeg. There are absolutely no tasting notes on here other than it identifies itself as a strong beer and that it is made with 100% real maple syrup. That is nice, and it's not nearly as sweet as you would expect for something that proclaims that it's made with maple syrup. Let us start with this one. It calls itself Toy Accessories ×2. A couple of tiny little modules with an 8-pin chip and a couple of capacitors and resistors on each one. There's what it says on the back, which is almost not useful. That is just a date code, I think, in a version 1.1 or version 11. What is that? DAU 802C? 8002D. I'll have to find the listing and see what that really is. But that does sound like a very familiar number. 3 to 5 volt, 3 watt, 8002 mini mono channel audio player power amplifier module class AB PCB. Oh wait, is that the same chip that was in that cheesy Bluetooth speaker that I took apart a couple of weeks ago? I think it might be. Anyway, I got 2 of these that cost me $1.32 each with free shipping or 99 American pennies. Unfortunately, this particular seller doesn't have any left right now, so the link down below will be a link to this search, which finds essentially the same thing, just in slightly different form factors from a bunch of different sellers. That should do the job for you if you're looking for little amplifiers. Well, that's off to a good start. Let's see what the next thing in on the mail pile is. This thing says heat break. Oh, is that a 3D printer part? Yeah, so these are a part for an upgrade part, I hope, for the 3D printer. Basically the heat break is a piece that goes between the hot end, the nozzle and the hot end part, and where the Bowden tube with the filament comes in, and its job is to not let the filament melt prematurely and to sort of hold the Bowden tube in there. Now these ones I am hoping are what's called an all-metal hot end heat break that basically holds the Bowden tube, which is made out of PTFE, the Teflon, holds it further back so it doesn't get degraded by the heat. That is my hope of what these are. EQ stainless extruder heat break throat for CR10 J-head hot end 3D printer. And if it fits CR10, it probably fits most of the Creality printers. I got 2 of them for $7.24 American or $9.66 Canadian with free shipping. Oh, hey, look, they're on discount right now. Nice. So as I said, I'm hoping that these are the ones that I want. The ones that I want basically have a reduced diameter down in partway inside of them so that the Bowden tube stops further back from the heat, because this screw end here is right up tight to the back of the nozzle, and that whole screw thread and the nozzle is the hottest part of the hot end. And then back here on this larger cylinder is a heat sink to cool it off so that you don't get, premature melting and jamming and blobbing and ugliness. It occurs to me that may not have been a very good explanation, so let me try again. Here is the spare hot end for my 3D printer. In use, the Bowden tube, which is just a hollow tube that the filament goes through, gets pushed through, goes in there and gets locked in with this little fitting here. It goes down all the way to the back of the nozzle down here. And the interior diameter of that nozzle is a pretty close match for the interior diameter of that tube, which is a pretty close match for the outside diameter of the filament. And the filament gets heated and squeezed down through that tiny little nozzle at the front there. So these parts here, the heat breaks, are this piece inside here. Well, I'm going to just whip this thing apart and show you closer, and we'll see together if the ones that I got are the correct one. So there is the factory one, and as you can see, that goes right through and is in contact with both the back of the nozzle and also with the heat block. This part here has the heater cartridge in it, and that heats up, this area here. So this tubing, it resists heat pretty well until you start getting over about 250-ish range. I'm not sure the exact numbers. Somebody's going to correct me in the comments, I'm sure. But anyway, it degrades at higher temperatures. So if you're printing more exotic materials, then it can get damaged over time. So I'm hoping that these ones have a little step in them about there, and they don't look like they narrow down. No, they don't. Yeah, these are not the ones that I wanted. These are the plain Jane ones that are stock. They're not the ones that I wanted. Oh well, I have more spares than I'll ever use. I guess that's okay. Well, 1 for 1 so far. Let's see what the next one is. It says lanyard. Okie dokie. Oh, looks like there's a bunch of them in there. It is 3 little wrist lanyards with this kind of cord that comes with anything like camera lanyards and stuff like that. And the reason I ordered these is I've been watching, for whatever reason, some tourist vloggers lately, tourism vloggers, travel vloggers, I guess you call them, on YouTube quite a bit. I guess I'm vacationing vicariously through them. Anyways, one of them was using his phone and taking a nice panoramic view on the end of a dock, and the phone slipped and dropped into the lake. So that got me thinking, maybe if I'm going to be traveling at some point, maybe next summer, who knows, for vacation, I ought to figure out a way to, not drop my camera, my phone, irretrievably, because that would suck. So I grabbed 3 of these cheap guys, and not just for my phone, but also for my other cameras that I've got around here. It's always a good idea to prevent them from, hitting the pavement or a bottomless pit or a lake or something like that. So I figured I'd grab some of these. 3-piece hand wrist strap, lanyard holder, phone strap, key ring, supply, adjustable top. Supply? Okay, I got the 3 of them for $2.96 Canadian, free shipping. Yahoo! And they are also available in an array of different colors. Not much to say about them. We got colors. They're made out of ABS and polyester, 19 centimeters long. Suitable for mobile phones, walkie-talkies, handheld devices, game consoles, small cups, keys, U-discs, sure. All of these things. Right, next in we have mobile phone case clip. Oh, these go with that previous thing. Okay. Universal wrist cell phone lanyard patch phone strap tether tabs with metal ring. Now, judging by the pictures in here, I had assumed that it was adhesive, but apparently not. Regardless, it only cost me $1.89 each, and I ended up buying 3 of them. So there we go. Looks like there are some other variants on this that may be more adhesive, but they are also much more expensive. So these aren't adhesive or anything, but how I think they work is you just tuck them into the back of your phone case and then put the phone back on top of them with it sticking out through the charging hole. Is that charging hole still available? Yep, okay. So that still works. It doesn't really get in the way. And then the lanyard goes on there. And yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. Cool. Let's try it with a different phone, like my daughter's old S3, and a slightly different style of case. Still latches up there. It's a little thick for the bottom though. Okay, it doesn't really work super well with that kind of a case. Let's try it with this one then, which is, I can't remember what kind of a phone that is, but regardless. That seems to hold in there fairly well, and At the bottom corner, still grab around. Okay. So I think those will be good. That way I can use my phone when I go on vacation and not worry as much about dropping it into an impossible location. And the last and the biggest thing, let's see what we have here. There's nothing on the outside of the box that indicates what it might be. It came from a reshipping warehouse, a drop shipper, whatever you want to call it. So, no idea. Other than it's a box in a box. Here we have a clue. It says label printer E1000 Pro, color orange. Ooh! Power brick, handled labor printer, cutter holder. Let me get this guy out of here. There we go. Well, that is a knockoff of a Brother P-Touch label printer machine. And this is the TZ style of label maker tape that works with those. We use these things at work all the time for labeling just about everything. The label tape comes in a variety of widths. And if this one works well, and I hope it does, then it'll be a nice inexpensive way to label stuff around here. I got this guy from AliExpress. E1000 Pro label maker printer compatible with heat shrink tubes, TZ231 label maker, QWERTY keyboard, symbols, industrial printer. Wow, there's a big range of prices. But I, of course, got the cheapest one, which was $55.68 with free shipping. And it included a US plug. That is not a US plug in the picture, but the one on my desk is, and one cartridge of tape. So the ones that we use at work are more the desktop ones because we got them connected to our computers with USB so that we can type it up on the computer and format things all nice and tidy. But this one, I think, for what I'm doing around here, will probably be a better choice, just so I can carry it around because it's portable. You know, works with Brother P-Touch TZ label tapes from 6mm up to 12mm in width. Okay, so it can't take the really big one, but that's all right. I don't use those anyway. So it's got a bunch of symbols and stuff in its menus as well. One replaceable cutter. Yeah, I saw that. It uses 6 AAAs. Wow. Yeah, this is what we use it for quite a bit at work, for labeling cables, also just for labeling ports on equipment and equipment in general. A very handy thing to have. So the tape cartridge just drops in the back of there, as you would expect. I'm not putting batteries in, as I said, because I don't have 6 AAAs kicking around. And it identifies that it's got a 12mm cartridge in there. That's cool. Okay. And now I can just label all the things. Cool. I'm going to take a little bit of time to figure out how to use this guy. It's fairly straightforward. Menus and things like that. Oh, you can do barcode. Adjust the cutting, adjust the style. Bold, italic, different fonts. We'll just do normal for now. What else we got in here? Width, underlines, frames, label lengths, margins. Ooh, you can memorize things in the file system. That's cool. You can just manually feed the tape, mirror printing, alignments, adjust the label width and the language. Cool. I think you've seen how I label my parts drawers around here. So I'm thinking that this is going to be an upgrade just for that, even if I'm not labeling cables and things, but I'm sure I'm going to get around to that eventually. Perfect. Yep, I will be labeling all of the things. So that was another successful, mostly successful Mailbag Monday. This is going to take some learning. It's got a fairly thick manual, so I'm going to spend some time with that and figure out, the fonts and the fancy things and stuff like that. These little amplifier modules are probably going to come in handy. Nice to have tiny little ones. These two sets of things combined should hopefully prevent me from making a really spectacularly stupid mistake at some point in the future, I hope. But like I said, I probably won't start using these until I go on vacation, unless I'm, using my phone to take video close to some place where there could be some hazard or something. The only really disappointing thing this time is these two heat breaks, which are not what I thought I was ordering, but that's probably on me because, as usual, I'm trying to order the cheapest of whatever variety that I want. I'll try again in the future. I'm going to do a bit more research on them, but I'll probably see more of those, hopefully the right ones this time, in the future. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it as always. Thanks to my Patreon supporters and my YouTube channel members for helping me pay for all this silliness, keeping the mailbags full, and of course, keeping the beer fridge full. Very important. Everybody else, again, thanks for watching. Comments and questions down below in the comment section. I'll talk to you later.